In this video, I'd like to describe a way of thinking about how to structure your research essay. So this image here is just an illustration. You don't have to follow this exactly when you write your research essay, but I just want to use it as an example to think about how it is that you might organize an essay that is of longer length. As many of you know, this essay is considerably longer than the essays we've been writing so far this semester. So most of those essays so far have been around 1,200 words. And as such, this outline has been adequate. The thesis was small enough to accommodate maybe 3 or 4 topic sentences. Some people went to 5 topic sentences. And of course, those topic sentences needed to be supported by at least 2 pieces of evidence. Once we get into an essay that's a longer length, so I would say probably over 1,500 words, you want to think about organizing your information into different chunks. You can imagine if we were using the same outline for a 2,500 word essay, we would have to go on. Here I have 4 paragraphs. We'd have to go on here for maybe 8 or 10 paragraphs. And at some point that essay is necessarily going to lose focus. So what you want to do is to think about the different sections or the different chunks of information that you'll be presenting to your readers and organize your essay accordingly. So I have 3 different sections here. You might have 4, you might have 5. It just depends on what your thesis is. But what you want to think about are what are the different smaller arguments that connect to some sort of larger thesis. For many people, when you're drafting and brainstorming and kind of coming up with your original ideas, a lot of people come up with the mini thesis statement ideas first and then just create an umbrella thesis that can hold all those sections together. So once you have these little mini thesis ideas thought through, you're on familiar territory. We basically would do this. We'd have our mini thesis statement. That mini thesis statement would be supported by a topic sentence, which in turn is supported by specific evidence to help prove the claim made in that topic sentence. So what we would do here is we would write section 1, we'd have a little transitional paragraph that moves readers from this large argument to this new large argument, and then we would go on and pursue kind of the same type of thinking here. What we'd have a mini thesis statement followed with topic sentences that are developed with specific evidence throughout the rest of the essay. So again, I just want to emphasize here that I have 3 different sections. You don't need 3 sections. You might have only 2 sections, in which case, remember, we got to get to that 2,500 word count. So in your situation, perhaps you have, if you did only two sections here, you might need to have 5 paragraphs, or you might need to have, perhaps this thesis idea you only need 4 paragraphs, and for that thesis idea, you need 5 paragraphs. Perhaps with your thesis idea, you actually blow out the sections a little bit more. Maybe you go 5 or 6 sections, and then necessarily each one of those sections is going to need to be smaller in order to accommodate the word count. So this is just a visual representation to kind of think about how you're, what I'm going to call chunking information and developing little mini arguments that then you can support with topic sentences and the evidence, as we've been doing all semester. These are like these axes paragraphs. So that's what I want you to think about there. So the big difference here is we have kind of multiple mini claims or mini thesis statements that are then supported with that larger thesis statement.